Oh, hello, everybody. Let's see. We're looking good. We had a little bit of a change up today.
Yeah.
When it comes to our setup, because Brayden, you're in the same.
I'm in the same
place as
room,
me.
dude.
That's my hand.
Ow! Your cat just clawed me in the calf.
Good. You deserved it. You deserved it.
He's trying to play with my power cord.
Everybody say
Good boy,
hello
Roof.
to Roof. Oh, I'm very high. I'm going to turn myself down. Say hello to Rufus, everyone.
Rufus.
Good boy.
And then you got little Verso down here chilling by my feet.
Two
Two
good
good boys. Let's go, boys. Hayden always has the coolest cats because I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm not like a cat person, but I've just always had dogs. I've never had a cat. But all of Hayden's cats, we've had what, 3 now?
3 that you've known.
That I've known.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always literally the coolest cats ever. They're just like,
They're just good boys.
They're not mean. You can just do whatever, and they just don't really care. They just love you.
They're just
It's
good
nice.
boys. They're good
It's
cats.
nice. I've always been so afraid to just like touch cats because every experience other than your cats, it's like you pet them for 3 seconds and then they're like 4 was way too long and then they claw the crap out of your hand or bite you. But like Rufus right now, he's just like literally burying his head into my hand, and now he's grabbing onto me, so I won't let him go. What are you doing, Bubba? He's so sweet.
So
Yeah.
last week you were out of town.
I was out of town. We didn't get to do anything.
Nope. And quite a lot happened for a week in off season.
Yeah, NFL wise,
Anything wise. I mean, yeah, mostly NFL.
because you have the 2 big trades that I know we're gonna have to probably talk about. Transparency, like I'm never enough, I guess, like versed in NFL world to like really know.
Well, I mean,
I
you
know.
know that these have to be massive.
Yes,
'Cause
yeah.
Myles
No, it's not
Garrett-
like it's not like I'm that kind of casual. I'm not that much of a casual fan, but I'm never going to be the person that knows like the numbers behind it and like
Yeah.
what significance of that, like what it did to that team's like cap or like what I don't pay attention to that stuff.
The
Like,
cap's
admittedly.
fake anyways, so it doesn't matter. The big thing is Myles Garrett, who is the defensive player of the year,
Yeah.
just broke the sack record.
Yeah.
Got traded.
Yeah, insane.
And to an already good team, a team that people
We've already talked about.
Yeah, that we that thought that was gonna already potentially go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, which is weird because I think that, it's weird because I already think that, what was it, 4 years ago when they like did was that the Odell trade where they had like Odell and they had like all the people. It's their
It was
actual
around
Super Bowl.
then,
It was their
yeah.
actual Super Bowl
Yeah.
run year where they won, right? Yeah,
That way,
and
won in LA.
everybody was like, okay, they're kind of like making all these just like free agent, like going balls to the wall with it, almost not building for like the future, quote unquote, by like using draft picks and different
Yeah.
things like that. And here we are, 4 years later, and it's like, oh, they're still doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think that we as fans and other analysts way overvalue draft picks.
Yeah.
Because like, they're like, how could you give up a first round pick for such and such player when how many first round picks don't work out?
So many.
So many, and or they're just not
How
quite
many first-round
what they're
picks?
hyped up to be.
Since me and you have been friends since what, 2014?
Somewhere around there.
Probably 2013, 2014.
Over 10 years.
How many? It's 10 years worth or 12 years worth of draft picks that we've had, of first round draft picks. How many of those can we for sure say, as Titans fans, have they
we
worked
can
out?
we can ask the question: how many got a second contract? Jeffrey Simmons. Go down the line. Jeffrey Simmons.
After that,
Mariota didn't get
No,
one.
Mariota didn't get one.
Like Corey Davis, Adoree
No.
Jackson, definitely
No.
not Isaiah Wilson.
No.
Taylor Lewan.
was he?
He got the contract while we were
Yeah,
friends and everything, but in the past 10 years. But
Yeah.
he was a first round pick in like 2013,
20,
14?
yeah, 12, 13, 14.
So not
something
even
like that.
really what we're talking about. And then it looks like old boy, left guard that we drafted. I can't think of his name.
Oh, buddy.
Why can't I think of his name?
The one we drafted this year?
No. Like 3 years ago. Two.
Oh, shoot.
Why can't I think of his name?
We're
awful
both
fans.
blanking out, dude.
Oh,
we're both blanking out.
no.
I'm not in a season mode where
I know.
I haven't listened to sports talk in
I keep wanting to say Jack Conklin, but it's not,
It's not
Jack
Jack Conklin.
Tiny
Shoot.
arms. Left guard.
Yep. I know. No, I
White
know.
guy.
I know. Because he came from.
I don't want to look it up.
He came from North Dakota, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Um,
Why can't I think of his
all right.
name?
I'm just going to be the one to look it up.
No.
You can't sit here and just.
No,
on the
we're gonna sit
microphone.
here for an hour trying to think of our left guard's name.
Titans.
No.
No. Look, when we see it, it's gonna be like, duh. Peter freaking Skoronsky,
It's
dude.
Skoronsky. He's gonna get a second contract.
Yeah, I hope so.
I seriously, can you look up Titans draft pick, first round picks for the past 10 years?
Yeah.
Because it's not gonna be. I think it's literally just gonna be Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah.
Hey, where's up? He's biting. He's trying to bite a cord. Hey! Stop it.
All right, here we go. So, this is all the way back to 66. All right, so 10 years ago would be 2016.
2016. Which.
Yeah, I'm going to sneeze.
Bless you. Pre-bless. Pre-bless.
Oh, God. Oh. All right. All right. Want to make sure there's no.
Make it look good. Look
All
good.
right.
Come on.
All right. So,
Lock in. Lock in. Need you to lock in.
Oh, gosh. In 2016, it was Jack Conklin.
Didn't get a second
Didn't get a
contract.
second contract. Corey Davis in 2017, and Adoree Jackson.
Didn't
Neither
get
one. That's two. You had two that year, and
Yeah,
you couldn't get
that
one. Rashad Evans.
Nope.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Yes.
Yes. Isaiah Wilson.
No, hell no.
No. He didn't make it till
last
week
2
one.
years.
Caleb Farley.
Nope.
Nope.
God.
Traylon Burks.
No.
Nope.
No.
Peter Skoronsky. Hope
Probably.
J.C. Latham.
We hope
Hope so.
We'll
Cam
see.
Ward. For God's sakes, I hope so.
If he doesn't, we're a failure.
Carnell Tate, please, I hope
Please,
so.
God, just
Keldrick
like-
Falk, I hope so. I just hope that I hope for what?
So,
1, 2, 3, 4.
If you
4
go
years.
back
For 4 years, can we just get a streak?
Is our next first round pick that we gave a second contract, is that Lawon?
Because Marcus didn't, right?
Marcus
now?
did not, no.
Yeah, it'd be Taylor Lewan because Chance Warmack was 2013.
Yeah.
Kendall Wright was 2012.
didn't get a
He
second.
didn't get a second one. Jake Locker
Just
didn't.
going, Jake,
Jake
nope.
Locker, no.
Nope.
Derek Morgan.
Yes.
Did he get a
He
second?
was a first round pick.
Yeah.
I think he got a second.
He was picked 16.
I think he got a second contract.
Kenny Britt. He
Not with us. I
didn't
don't
with
think.
us. No. Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson did.
Yes. Michael Griffin.
Yeah,
yes.
he did.
Vince
Okay.
Young.
No.
No, not with us.
I mean, like, if you go back 20 years, we got, like,
Adam Jones
I don't think Pac-Man did a second contract with us either.
with us.
No. He was gone. If you go back the past 20 years, maybe 5 or 6.
Albert Hainsworth in 2002 definitely did.
Well, no.
Not
with us.
Not with us because he went to the Giants afterwards.
No, with the Redskins.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Where they paid him all that money for him to be
You're
doo-doo
right.
trash.
Keith Bullock
He
and
did,
Javon Curse,
yeah.
Kevin Dyson.
No, that's when we were drafting well. Yeah.
So you had listen to this run, dude. In the 90s, it was in 93 because there was no pick in 91 or 92.
Yep.
Obviously. Brad Hopkins in 93.
Good.
Henry Ford in 94,
I-
defensive tackle. I'm not really sure.
Didn't.
But then 95, Steve McNair.
Okay.
96, Eddie George.
Yep.
97, Kenny Holmes. 98, Kevin Dyson.
Yep.
99, Javon Curse. 2000, Keith Bullock.
Yep.
And then no pick in
Did Kevin
2001.
Dyson get a second contract, or was he just like with us? Like, was he just
Pretty sure
because he was
Kevin
around
Dyson.
for like all of our good years?
He was around for a lot of our like growing up, so I feel like he had to be.
I wouldn't be
contract.
surprised if he didn't get a second contract. But
had to
also,
be, right?
this was
98. No, I guess no.
This
because
was-
it was 98 to 2002 because he was a Tennessee Oiler and a
right.
Titan. So his second contract would have been he was with the Carolina Panthers in 03.
Yeah.
Chargers in 04 and Washington in 05.
He's just so relevant because he still hangs around, Nashville sports
Which is
media
crazy
today.
to think about, which I guess is kind of like where it's funny to look at these old players and see how long like they played, because you think about Dyson, especially locally.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like somehow seeing us from somewhere else, like you live in Arizona and you're like listening to us, you probably have no idea who Kevin Dyson is.
Look at the chat here. Our Arizona listeners, they're going crazy in chat right now.
It's funny because, yeah, like you said, like he's so prevalent in like Titans lore and just
because he was around for that Super Bowl run
Yeah.
and like the years we were good.
he's still around. Like heck, he was on the
the
radio.
1 yard.
He was on the radio 2 weeks ago filling in for somebody on 104.5.
Yeah.
I think for Ramon.
Yeah.
One morning, and then he's like doing stuff with Titans radio now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny because he was only like he had 4 years with the Titans, but he made like such an impact. I feel like it's kind of funny to think about.
So all that to say that first round picks do not always work out.
Yeah.
At all, and so it's better to spend two. I guess it really only took one first round pick and a good player in Jared Verse.
Yeah.
To get Myles Garrett, so Myles Garrett was just broke NFL records, probably going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Just was Defensive Player of the Year, and he was essentially, you could say, two firsts, because Jared Verse was a first round pick,
Right.
and he was Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
So two firsts, and then you look at the Colts, who this past season spent 2 first-round picks on Sauce Gardner, and it's like they did not get. That was not. I don't think that was a good trade for the Colts.
No.
Especially when you compare them. The
Yeah.
two.
I had a point to make, but I don't remember the specifics, so I can't. I feel like I can't make it now. But yeah, it just seems. I guess the Sauce Gardner, that was kind of a weird trade. I feel like it was a very like weird time of the market that benefited him very much.
For sure.
It felt like. What's the other one? I was thinking about this earlier. So the other trade.
A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown.
Was traded to the Patriots with. I mean, we knew this before
It's not a
Diana
shock.
Cini even.
It wasn't
It
it wasn't a shock. The funny thing to me was was this just like a sole Vrabel? It had to be a sole Vrabel thing, right? You would think
I mean,
so?
besides the fact that they did need a receiver, yeah. I mean, he's going to be the guy that.
It's just so funny because I feel like how many years did Vrabel get to have AJ? Was it like 2?
It was like 3.
2 or 3 years?
I think because he was. I almost said sold. He was traded. He was
Dude.
sold. He was traded after I think his 3rd year. Yeah. So
The funny thing is, it's like. It's just I feel like Brave was just like, oh yes, like I'm getting this back, like that I just got it ripped away from my hands, and I didn't want it because everybody's seen the video, right, of Vrabel like sitting in the quote unquote war room
and, like,
next to
shaking his
Vrabel,
head.
just next to
You know what? Don't even say his name.
yeah, next to our
JR.
yeah,
We'll call him
JR,
JR.
John Robinson.
Shut up. We don't mention that here. I'm gonna start burning some incense. Get out of here. Get that name out of my house.
Voldemort.
No.
But it's funny because you know you've seen that video. Everybody's seen it where he's just sitting in the war room, just like, oh my god. I mean, it was obvious like he didn't want
Shaking
to
his
trade
head.
him. You know.
Yeah. Who would? I mean, damn.
But at the same time, what is your opinion on like what AJ Brown is now as like a professional? Because he had so much like. I feel like every time I heard about him on the Eagles, it was for nothing good.
He was no. I disagree with. I get why you would think that because there was a lot of, I guess, toxicity
Yeah.
with him happening kind of this past year, where you could see his body language on the sidelines. Apparently, there was some kind of rift between him and Jalen Hurts. they used to be like, I guess, like really good friends, and then something happened, and they kind of repaired that relationship, but
Yeah.
it never went back to where it was, and there was like a little bit of a grudge still there. Apparently, these are literally, I don't know what the story could be. It's just
Yeah.
whatever. But
Hearsay at this point.
exactly. But and then you see him like when he's not getting catches on. He's like reading a book on the sideline, like how to be your better self or something like that. And I think that A.J. Brown is really, really talented and is a really good player, and he'll elevate any quarterback that he plays with. And if you give him the chance, and he wasn't given chances this past year with how Philly ran their offense.
I think it was just a scheme thing, basically.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say
almost like
because
a 2 wide receiver scheme.
They're I just know that Eagles fans were complaining all year about their offensive coordinator. It was like after they lost, I think it was Shane Steichen. I'm gonna get lost in coaches if I keep this up, but the guy that they had this year was like a buddy hire of the head coach there, and he just was not good. And they went heavily run with, I mean, a lot of it was like, how can we get into the tush push? How do we get to tush push formation almost? So they weren't really taking shots with him. And then when they did start to kind of like go towards his way, he was having some drop issues. Which
pressing to finally get those opportunities. Thinking too much about it.
And then I guess he just got in his head. But he's still just 28 years old.
Yeah.
And I still think he's really good. Like Drake May and A.J. Brown, I think is going to be. A.J. Brown could be what Stephon Diggs was for Josh Allen, which is what we've been praying for here in Tennessee. It was like, what can we get? First, it was like, who can be Will Levis's Stephon Diggs?
Yeah.
And Stephon, he's like, well, never mind, that's not going to be it. But now it's like, who can be Cam Ward's Stephon Diggs? And we're kind of hoping that it's going to be Carnell Tate. We probably hope that it would be Calvin Ridley before. I think that the odds of A.J. Brown being Drake May's Stephon Diggs, I'm just saying like a list of names at this point, is really high. And I like it for him. Is he worth a first-round pick? Yes, especially if it's in 2 years, which is a 2028 first-rounder. And then, they always like do some weird fourth-rounders, late-rounders swap stuff, which, whatever. I think it's worth it for them. It is funny how Vrabel just seems to have his guys.
Yeah.
Both players and coaches.
Man, we're so bad at name set. I don't know. I was extremely. I just took my wife to the airport for reference. Airport. And I swear to you, on the way there, I've always wondered. Like, I know as a kid, my mom used to always like take me in the car to like drive around and make me fall asleep. And I wonder if that has contributed to me like driving and then just having to fight to stay awake. I mean, to the point where like like when your eyes like droop down and everything kind of starts double visioning, and you're like this. That was me on the entire drive to the airport. I looked at my wife and I was like, "Hey, I need you to keep me awake."
It's like 3 p.m.
It was 3 p.m.
And you're like,
and I went to bed at 10 p.m. last night. Woke up at 7:15 this morning. Like had a pretty chill day. Like didn't really do anything crazy. I'm like, why am I so tired?
Yeah.
Now I just feel like, but Todd Downing.
Yeah.
Is he with Vrabel right now? Yes.
He's like a wide receivers coach, maybe.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his buddies. I mean, he's over there. Stretch is over there, I think.
I mean, it worked. It worked for them last year, so
it did work. I still think they benefit a lot from an easy schedule. But I don't want to take it away from Vrabel. I just he is a good coach. I do think I was when he was fired, I was pro firing Vrabel, because he's just too loyal to his guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Todd Downing.
Well,
had to go.
I think when Tennessee fired him, it was like the culmination of just like it was like almost like, hey, did you guys like that decision? Yeah, I did.
It's like the next hire better be good.
Did you guys make like this decision? I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
next decision will be made. Yeah, what about this one? I don't know. And it just like kind of slowly got to the point where it was like, man, like we like him because his personality is kind of funny, and like he is almost like an approachable person, and I think that's just because he was so like not approachable in the sense, but just almost like to fans he was just like another guy.
I disagree.
Well, see, the reason I say this is because I feel like you saw him so much on, not with media traditional sense, but like, for example, like I used to watch a ton. I guess maybe it was just me, and if you watched like Bussin' with the Boys a lot, but like he was with them, and to see like a coach that's 25 years older than two guys that were the same age as us and kind of interacting with, and you're like, oh man, I like him. Like and granted, if you were in Nashville, you saw kind of how much of an ass he was to like media.
Yeah.
And I don't think when I say like personable or approachable, it's more in like like if I just sat down with this guy, not in front of a camera, like it's like, oh, okay, he'd be pretty cool. It seems like he'd be pretty cool. So it was kind of like sucky to almost like lose him in a way, because I think we all wanted to like him so much. But it was just at some point it was just like, I don't know if we can, especially after the Todd Downing nonsense, after the DUI and all the other stuff, and he just kind of still like stood up for him and like, almost just like refused to change anything. Yeah. It's just like, all right, like maybe we should just get like a fresh slate.
I always thought Vrabel was an ass, but I didn't care, and I could even lean into liking it because he won.
Yeah.
And the second he started not winning, I was like, this motherfucker. He's so what do you have to say? Is this person going to be injured this week? Wow, well, just injuries are what they are. I already told you.
Yeah,
that's the injuries.
Well,
we got to coach better, got to play better.
You can tell when a coach like is pressing, and I think about it as, you say like you liked it because it was your coach and we were winning. That's like all the Tony Vitello Tennessee baseball hate. Like when we had Tony Vitello as our head coach before he just left for the Giants, like everybody like hated the guy, and he wasn't even a rude personality in front of media. Nicest guy to the media, like would give you any information. You almost overshares, because if you listen to his like press conferences, or he'll literally have like media availability, and it's just him like sitting in the dugout. So like I don't know if you've ever seen like an MLB dugout, but it's just like a dugout that you probably sat in the league, obviously nicer. But then there's like the top of the bench too, that's like kind of up against the wall. And he's always just kind of sitting on the top of the bench, leaning up against the wall. And legitimately, he has the reporters like sitting down with him, leaned up on the wall next to him, just kind of like talking to him. And he almost just way overshares.
Yeah.
So he's like, wasn't an a-hole in that sense, but he was very fiery on the field, to the point where like I had family members like my wife's grandfather, love him to death. Like my wife's grandfather is one of my favorite people ever. He like hates the guy. Thought he was the worst human being on the planet because he was like fiery on the field. And I think that's kind of like how Tennessee fans saw him. It was like, oh yeah, he'll do whatever on the field to win. And like, we're winning. We won a national championship pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then every other fan base that's like in college baseball, even as he's gone now, they're like, oh, Tennessee is such a trashy program and blah, blah, blah. It's like, what did he do that was trashy? Yeah. Like, name me one thing he did that was trashy. Yeah. Argued with an umpire? What baseball freaking coach has not argued with an umpire? Has yelled in an umpire's face? Like,
both old people in the South and baseball in general are just so particular about how people handle things
Dude.
on the field. Like half, like old people and old baseball people will see a bat flip and they'll be like,
Dude, I could go on for. Don't get me started, dude. I could go on for an hour. They're like, well,
Yeah.
unwritten rules. Screw your unwritten rules. It's a freaking sport.
yeah, the unwritten rules.
Oh,
Write the damn rules down.
Just run around the bases and high five your guy and go back to the. You're telling me that you're not going to be hyped for a winning grand slam that puts you ahead in the World Series? Like the fact that guys stand on a hill and say you're not allowed to celebrate in a sport.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want the rules, if you want unwritten rules, write them down. If you want me to follow them.
Exactly.
Write them down. If you want to say no bat flip, I think it's stupid, but I'll follow it. But
Yeah.
but to say that there's an unwritten rule, yeah. So I see a lot of John Boy.
Yeah.
On my,
Yeah.
I watch those. That's the only baseball I consume
they're
is
great.
John Boy.
They're great. He's so
they're
good at
really
lip
good.
reading.
I get so pressed watching them. I hate umpires so much. Oh my God.
They've got a good union.
I get so, yeah.
They've got a good
You
union.
can tell.
Because
it's like you just, and like this whole thing
They
with
yell
the.
right back at coaches
Yeah.
that are getting paid millions of dollars. They'll
Yeah.
just yell right back at them.
Yeah, and then you like see these, they're starting to do that whole, challenging
The
thing, and
ABS
it's
thing,
like,
which is the greatest thing
which
ever.
by the way should just be the norm now.
The standard.
It
yeah.
just should just
Which it is.
whatever. Yeah.
So they tested it in the minor leagues.
I remember
so
that.
They
Yeah,
tested
yeah.
it in the minor leagues for like a year or two.
yeah,
And then this year was the first year it's come to MLB.
where you can. It's only if they challenge it do they call it
They
right.
so you get two. So a team
Yeah.
gets two going into the game. It's kinda-
Two unless they're confirmed.
unless
right?
unless they're confirmed,
Right.
Or so if you're
Overturned,
challenging, so if it was called a ball and you think it was a strike,
Yeah.
so the catcher taps his head.
Yeah.
If it turns out to be a strike, you keep that challenge. So
Yeah.
you have unlimited
Right,
unless you're
you just
wrong.
can't screw it up.
Yeah.
Which makes sense to me because
Right.
otherwise people just
Yeah. Then it
All
would just
day.
take freaking forever,
Yeah.
right? Like I was watching the Braves game today. So the Braves were ahead 4-3 in the top of the ninth. They had a runner on second and there was two outs. So they wanted a little bit more cushion. And they had already challenged one call earlier in the game, didn't get it right. So they lost their challenge. They had one left.
One left.
And then so Dom Smith, who is a designated hitter, he was over the plate. It was like a 1-1 count, and there was a fastball below the knees. Of course, when you're watching on TV, it's got the box, so it was clearly a ball. There would have been no question. But the umpire called it a strike, and you could see for a second he wanted to, but then he was like, you could see him think in his head, it's probably more important for me to save that for the bottom of the ninth when we're on defense. And so he kind of restrained himself, and even the commentator said something like, "Oh, that's probably a good idea to save that because your pitcher will want that if there's a crucial quality in the game, with a 1-run lead." So it's a great rule.
I think it's got to be in the next few years. They're just gonna, the umpire's there to do other things rather than call.
Yeah, I would
balls and
assume
strikes.
that they could almost, which part of me, I almost really didn't think about that. I was about to say they could probably go down to 3 umpires and not have one behind the plate, but you're still going to need one for plays at the plate or things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'll get to the point where. Honestly, where the umpire behind the plate will have some sort of a device that is immediately
something in
tells
his
him
ear.
ball or strike,
Ball.
and he just calls it.
So,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. That
I
sounds
think
right.
that's honestly, I wouldn't be. I mean, as a baseball, I played. It is my main sport. I play
Yeah.
baseball. I love baseball. But I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I
You
think
know what
that'd
mean?
be
I have
good.
zero problem with that. I think technology, if it's going to benefit you and it's not going to slow the game down, I agree with the two challenges. Give them 2 challenges. You run out of them. They also have another rule where it's got to be immediate. You can't think about it and be like,
Yeah.
oh, should I do it? Even if you make another motion. So if I was a batter and I stretched my arm out and then immediately oh crap, and I wanted to do that, they'd be like, no, you already made a different motion. I have to go from bat to oh, I want to challenge this.
I saw one John Boy video where the guy, he adjusted his hat, his helmet. He did this, and then they go, batter challenges. And he's like, What?
Yeah, he didn't mean to.
And then again, that's when I'm like, oh yeah, I hate umpires because they're even when you got a system, they still just suck.
Yeah. Last night I saw, speaking of just umpires, it's crazy to me that they're not afraid to yell at these coaches, that are, I mean, these guys are professionals, don't get me wrong. Like, they probably make a good amount of money. I don't know how much an MLB umpire makes, but I'm sure it's good.
Yeah.
But also, like, you're not the professional of that sport, you know what I mean? And it's so funny because yesterday there was the Pirates player stole second, and the Braves shortstop caught the ball, tagged him out. The umpire at second, called him safe, but because there's a rule, like, where you can't necessarily block the path of the runner to the base. The shortstop basically, like, went down to one knee and, like, as he caught the ball, kind of just tagged him. And the umpire, like, motioned that he obstructed the base, basically. But he did it, like, super emphatically, where it was almost like, it almost looked like you were really hoping that you could call it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I saw it,
rooting for the other guy, rooting for the other team in a way. And the Braves pitching coach kind of, like, stepped up and was like, what the was that? And it's funny because the second base umpire was about to, like, turn on his mic to, like, say something on the intercom, like the stadium intercom, just kind of like how football referees do. And I guess when the Braves pitching coach was like, what was that? You could hear the dude in the mic over the stadium PA. He was like, hey, you shut your mouth. Out loud. It was just crazy. I'm like, you're going to talk to a coach like that? That's wild.
I guess.
That's so funny.
I guess. I have a hockey.
Oh.
Hockey,
wow.
Of all things. So right now, the Stanley Cup playoffs finals are happening.
Yeah.
And I was at my parents' house late last night, and my brother-in-law was there, and he had the game on. And I look up, and I'm like, oh, it's the Hurricanes and the Golden Knights.
Yeah. Which super cool logo, by the way. The Hurricanes logo.
So yeah, a cool hurricane. But I was born in North Carolina, and one year, a bunch of my friends got really into hockey, and so they all, like, picked teams. I'm like, oh well, Tyler was like, I'm the Penguins, and I was just like, well, I don't want to be the Predators because everyone's the Predators here in Tennessee, so I'm going to pick another favorite team. And so I picked Carolina. And Carolina's just been awful forever.
Yeah.
Just the worst. Which I'm like, that seems right for me. So all that to say, I quasi-root for the Hurricanes. Yeah. If I were to call a second NHL team, it would be them. And go figure, I didn't even know they were in the finals. That's my 3D printer.
Oh. Somebody was drilling on the roof.
I didn't even know they were in the finals, and they're already 1-1 in the series.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm like, oh, I guess I should root for this. And so I go and I pick up my phone and I go to text Tyler because Tyler's my resident hockey guy.
Yeah.
And as I'm texting the message where I'm like, oh, the Hurricanes are in that's cool. They get scored on twice in 30 seconds. In 30 seconds.
Wait, because aren't you didn't you tell me, like, every time you went to the Preds games, they just, like, got stomped? Like, you were just like, I can't come here anymore.
When the finals, yeah. I remember every time I would go to a game when they were, like, good and they were, like, in the playoffs, they would just lose and get just shit on. And I was like,
oh no, you're the problem. You're the problem.
Dude. And so I'm like, oh God. And so by the end of the second period, they were down 4-0.
Oh jeez.
And then I'm like hanging out. My parents get home because they're at this wedding. So I'm talking to them, talking to my brother-in-law and my sister, and the game ties 4-4 and all that time. See, I'm never watching, right? Never. I look up and a goal is scored. I'm like, this is really. So I watch. I watched double overtime, and the Golden Knights won on second overtime.
You know what makes me mad about the Golden Knights is like they came into the league. What, like
they went to the finals the first
years?
It's
because
year.
That expansion draft.
Yeah, they got all the good players.
The Predators did not have that when we got brought into the league in like the early 2000s.
Yeah,
and I always wonder like what the franchise would be if we had like the current model of the expansion draft.
Yeah,
because it just sets you up to be a contender right away.
Right. I mean, literally, they haven't been bad once. Like they've went to the finals. Yeah. They won a couple years ago.
They've had to be in the league for like 10 years at this point now.
It's probably been like that long, just because COVID's weird.
Yeah.
So COVID changed
I think
things
about
by
that
5
all the
years.
time as well. Just like I'll be like, oh, that was only like 3 years ago, and there's like that's 7 years ago.
Yeah,
I was
like 2016,
what?
I think is the year Overwatch came out. I'm like, Overwatch probably came out like 5 or 6 years ago. I'm like, we were together in Steffi Street.
Yeah, I remember when Overwatch came out because you guys were all about it.
Yeah. It's so weird how time basically just since COVID happened, just add what you think it is and then add 5 years on top of that.
Yeah.
So that was my hockey thing. I'm doomed to never have a championship winning team in any official sports. The closest I've gotten was the Cubs.
They did win though.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm not a baseball fan, so they're not actually one of my teams. They're just the team that I root for.
Oh, okay.
Because I was a Cub when I was in Little League. I've got a bunch of Cubs fans in my family, so
I remember when they were in the World Series because we were literally watching the game in the living room at Steffi Street.
Yeah.
Because I remember Elijah taking a big rooting interest with the Cubs.
Because he's a pretty.
I guess he was a Cubs fan before.
I think it's
and he happened to work with like the Tennessee Smokies for a little bit as well, which is the Cubs organization.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess he had.
So the reason why the Cubs won that year, they beat my curse of never being able to have a championship winning team.
Yeah.
Is because I don't know exactly what he is.
Bambino, but not Bambino. That's the Yankees.
It's just the Linfoot curse.
Yeah, just the Linfoot curse.
Because it's not my uncle, but he's basically my uncle. He was a huge Cubs fan, biggest Cubs fan, and he was sick that year. We all knew he was probably going to pass away soon, and so that was the year my sister got married, and like everyone was in town. And so we were all watching the World Series.
I remember you talking about this.
Yeah, and they won. They won while he was still alive, so he got to see that, and then he passed not too long after that.
Yeah.
So that's the reason. That's the only thing that can beat my curse.
So what you're telling me is that you have to have somebody close to you or your family dying
it
for
breaks,
your team to win.
It breaks both the 100-year drought for the Cubs in the World Series.
For your sake, I hope none of your teams will win anything anytime soon.
So it's a blood sacrifice in order for anyone. So, Braden, you're just going to have to take a sacrifice if you want.
I already think about death so much.
What do you mean? What do you mean by
It scares me.
Death? Why?
I don't know, dude. You know how many times I've been saying...
Is it the existential or is it the act?
It's the existential.
Really?
Yeah.
I am not afraid.
Dude, I have to talk. We have to have I think we have to have a conversation. I think we need to have a Bible study together.
You want to have a Bible study right here? So it's the existential, like the fact of being dead.
Yeah, it's like for whatever reason we've gotten on the topic for not the specific topic, but like it's been just like talked about. Like in sermons recently, just like not like death itself, but just like you're sitting in church and something gets said, and then you start to like kind of think about that quote or whatever. That you start to kind of like be like, oh, what is that? How was that reply? I'm sitting there thinking, like Pastor Mike would say something, and I would think about it, and like
what did he say? Did he say, "Come on, somebody"? Is that what he said?
No.
That puts me in an existential dread moment when he does that.
Oh, he says, "Come on, somebody."
Yes. He's always like, "Come on, somebody," when he wants people to clap.
I know, he always just calls you out and just says, "No one's going to amen." All right,
yeah,
cool.
no one's going to amen. I mean, come on.
But no, it's like it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I totally believe that heaven is obviously. I'm a practicing I'm a practicing Christian. You know,
Yeah.
like I have a relationship with Jesus, but I don't know, man. It's just like
I'm
this.
about to get real.
It's this.
About
It's
to
just
get
this.
real.
It's just this like. I think about it and I'm like, oh man, like. I don't know. It is. It's something that I would have to really go into detail in because it's not the fact that I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. It's a little bit of that of like, I don't know exactly because there's so many iterations of like what people believe is like what happens to us, you know, like what heaven is and what heaven isn't. And that's all fine. But it's almost, it's like a little bit of maybe a crack in the faith where it's just like, what does that? Is that just going to go, like, it's just going to be done. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's scary. And then it also is, I guess it's also, too, like, a little selfish of, like, man, like, all my friends, my family, my wife that I love, like, my you know, all this stuff. And it's kind of like, how that's going to be? And, like, I don't know. I remember one time specifically a couple months ago, something was like we got on it pretty heavy at church and I literally was driving home and I think I zoned out so hard to where like have you ever thought about something that made you so almost anxious to where like your body like all of a sudden got this like shiver of chill and it just got like kind of hot but cold at the same time? I like thought something very specific and I can't remember what it was now, but I was driving home and that thought hit me and that like moment happened in my body and I was so quiet on the way home just because I was like I like freaked myself out about dying.
Ron, you ever think about how you're just gonna die one day?
He's like,
mean, I
what?
guess.
Oh my gosh! But anyways, yeah, it's a whole nother talk.
I'm afraid of the act of dying.
Yeah,
Like getting sick, getting shot, getting run over, being in pain, you know, getting cancer, slowly dying in a bed.
well, that has crossed my mind, but like, I guess I naively like push that off because I'm like, it's not like. Not that it's not going to happen, but it's like, okay, if something happens, I'll get to that when I get to that. But I think it's more of like literally the dying. Like
I'm so opposite.
Really?
Like
So funny.
I mean I worry more about the act, which I'm not sitting here worrying every day about like, oh my god, am I gonna die?
I can't leave that part.
Yeah, I'm not like that, but you know, like it does cross my mind. I'm like, dude, like being shot, that sucks.
Yeah, that would suck.
It'd be painful. I don't want that to happen. But like, now this is gonna sound bad because it's like, if I was dead
Yeah.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
whatever,
Huh.
doesn't bother me at all.
I like that piece though.
There's a little bit of peace to it. Like we're a sports podcast, by the way, sports show.
Sometimes you just get
you
off.
gotta
Dude, have you ever listened to 3HL? They never stay on top.
It's true. Well, what was I saying?
Also, do we have a USB somewhere that I can plug this up at?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, sweet.
Let me get that one. There you go. If I sometimes, this is gonna sound not great. It's gonna sound not great.
Okay.
I sometimes pray.
I know what you're gonna say,
Not
but-
to die.
But for Jesus to come back.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, let's just get this.
We had to talk about that earlier at church.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
not
ki-
suicide.
I like-
It's just being like, let me be at peace, Lord.
I don't know if I've necessarily because I enjoyed life. I understand. Like I am excited.
Mm-hmm.
Like for it, now, I'm not like afraid for Jesus to come back. That'd be awesome. But I'm not one of those people that are like, please come on back now. Like, 'cause I'm like, I enjoyed
Yeah, a
life.
lot of times it's like
Let me
when
enjoy my life
you
first.
are more, I guess, depressed or
don't be
anxious or
depressed.
something. I mean, I'm not depressed, but you get depressed moments. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Where
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
dog, this sucks. I'd rather just not be doing this
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
It was like you say you just love life. You love
Yeah.
living life, which is great. But heaven's gonna be so much
I
better.
know.
You know what I mean?
know.
Whatever
It just does
euphoria
scare
you're
the hell
feeling
out of me,
now,
dude.
it's just gonna be better.
It still scares me. So.
Well, it is different. It is gonna be different.
Yeah, it's just the unknown. I think I'm one of those people that like I don't like the unknown.
Yeah.
And even though like I firmly believe that heaven is real and like we're gonna literally be in a place, it's just like the unknown about what that actually is gonna be like scares the living hell out of me.
Sure.
Because
You know what? It should scare the hell out of you.
Yeah, it does. Because I even said to Sarah, I said one time I like looked at her and I said, and I don't want you to take this as like a non-believer part of me, but I said, I don't know why I'm freaking out about it if it just turns to black, because what can I do at that point? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's still just kind of like, oh, wow.
So I've talked about this before, like with you, like when we were doing small group, but like for years, I was like, Lord, speak to me.
Yeah.
And like I wanted him to just audibly say something, and I had that for years and years and years. But then I like changed on how I think about that. The quote is, if you want to hear God speak, read your Bible. If you want to hear him, if you want to audibly hear him, read your Bible out loud. You know what I mean? And so then it's like, oh, yeah.
Because I am also one of those people that I'm like, somebody can be like, oh, God did that. I'm like, I've never heard. I don't know what it sounds like. I don't know if sometimes I'm like, oh, that was God telling me that. But then I'm like, was it actually, or was it just me wanting to believe that was him talking to me about
it? But have you ever witnessed a miracle?
I mean, being a first responder, I feel like I could. That's a very loaded question.
Yeah.
Because I was in the past a first responder, and I've myself, like at the hands of my own hands, have brought somebody from literally dead to living.
But could you rationalize like how that's a biological thing?
I could rationalize that I like did some sort of life-saving measure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I either used some sort of product of science or some technique or some sort of training,
which could be considered a miracle. However, it's still within the realms of logic
because we talked about this earlier again at church a couple weeks ago. It's like, just because it's not like literally like some miraculous, like there wasn't gold dust in the air and all of a sudden something happened. It's like it was still a miracle that a doctor was placed, or for example, a first responder was placed in the time frame and be able to use their specific skill and their knowledge to work a miracle to save somebody. You know, so it could be framed however you want it to be framed.
This is sometimes why I have a problem with Grace. Life Point, sorry. Which is the local church here, one of the local church, the biggest church in Clarksville. Yeah, would you say? So. Yeah, is to me that's not a miracle, that's God's providence.
Yeah,
which is Him putting he's provident over everything, right? Yeah. So everything that's ever happened is because He did it. Like to me, a miracle is like they're back to life, or I just created the entire universe, or I split the Red Sea. To me, that's a miracle. Yeah. Like it's literally.
Then to answer your question, I can't think of anything that I would consider that I have physically seen as a miracle.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen something as crazy as a freaking ocean opening up on both sides and people
or raising someone like just going raised from the dead and coming to back. So, me neither.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I mean, maybe I witnessed a miracle and I didn't really realize it. I've never. And so, for me, the only evidence I have, this is now a religious show, the only evidence I've had of...
We're called talk about it.
Make sure it's on. Click the button. There you go. Oh, yep, that's on. The only evidence I've ever had of God existing is the evidence of the universe, right? Mm-hmm. I believe it's created. It's so obviously created to me. The evidence of what the Bible says.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all you need.
And which is a lot. Those are very big. And to me, that's that's enough evidence for me to consider it proof, but it's also not proof that God exists.
Yeah.
I believe with all my heart he does,
Yeah.
but it's not proof.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, there is that, it's like, if I'm wrong, because I could just be lying to myself in some way, believing a lie, which I don't think I am, then it would just be darkness when you die. Black.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Snuffed.
then at that point, why are we freaking out about it? Because we can't do anything about it because we don't know. We won't
But that
know.
is scary.
It is scary.
The thought of nothing.
Yeah. The thought of nothing, but you have no
Spooky.
idea. Yeah. Anyways, that was that took a turn.
That's the existential religious part of the show.
Listen, we're called. Look, if now Pastor Mike can look me straight in the eye and say, "Did you tell people about Jesus this week?" And I could say yes, because at least
Well,
as long
let me
as-
look in the chat here.
Somebody's gonna watch this. It might not be on the live, but we also post. We
Let's
also
see,
post
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
We also post this episode a couple days after we record. So
Yep.
yeah.
Oh no, we got like 1,000 people in chat right now.
My wife is gonna watch it at least probably.
Oh, that's nice.
She usually does. Actually, Hope asked me the other day, "Are you guys doing another show? You guys didn't have one last week." And I was like, "Oh,
Well, wait a minute. Did she watch the show?
guess.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
That is crazy that she wouldn't know. Unless you tell her about. Do you tell her that we do a show?
I told her, but how would she know that we didn't do one last week? I haven't seen her. That's
a good point.
3 weeks.
It's a good
3
point.
weeks.
It's a good point.
Yeah. So I have 2 topics. Well, 2 topics and then maybe a little, not necessarily a mini game, but more of like I just want to see just a little something.
Little something. All right.
So, have you heard of, were you done with, sorry, I didn't know.
Well, let's see. I also wanted to talk about the whole Mormon thing going on right now.
not with religious stuff.
Okay.
Talking about-
No,
I
I don't.
guess we were out of the NFL trade talks pretty heavy because we went to a straight up like religious podcast.
I don't think so. I think in terms of NFL stuff, just those are 2 crazy trades. So, yeah.
So I didn't want to just like go. I didn't want to be like, well, here's my topic.
Just talk about the Mormon
so-
debate happening
Oh my
on
God.
Twitter right now.
So I wouldn't know anything about that.
Just go look at my timeline. You'll see me
I'm
calling
sure it's
people
great.
all sorts of slurs.
Oh, man.
God bless.
Don't. We're tied to this together. So
Bring it down with.
are you familiar with there's something in Congress right now that has got a couple people in college athletics involved.
I saw
It's called the
Nick
College-
Saban
Yes.
talking about it on
So
Capitol
it's
Hill.
basically called like the Protect College Sports Act. I would be lying to you if I said I knew exactly what the act was itself trying to do, what was actually in that bill. I know that specifically they're trying to preserve they're trying to preserve college athletics through figuring out how to regulate NIL, which is a crazy, obviously, topic right now. It's like the most prevalent topic in college football pretty much at all times, or college athletics, I would say, at all times.
Yes.
As you know, like NIL, name, image, and likeness, in my opinion, has gotten, it's just, I agree a lot. If you've listened to, I listened to the 11 minutes of Nick Saban talking about it in front of Congress. He was in front of Senator Ted Cruz, who I think was here, kind of spearheading the whole thing. It's a bipartisan deal with Congress. And I agree. I think that NIL, at a point, NIL was created to, do what it is. Compensate. Do what it sounds like. It's compensate athletes for their name, their image, and their likeness. Okay. What it's turned into is kids being compensated for just existing, for not using their name, their image, their likeness. It's to
They're
get
just
them
paying
to a
them,
school,
paying them to come play for their school.
which is just so wrong on what it was supposed to be established with. And it's gonna ruin college sports. Their argument, which when I say there's a big group in the House or in Congress that believes that like it's basically going to implode how we understand not only like college sports but higher education, because higher education is obviously tied to these universities, and they think that it could honestly get to a point where it almost cripples college athletics or really institutions as a whole. There's another group, which is like Nick Saban, I think the Notre Dame athletic director. I could be wrong on that, but I know it's somebody involved with Notre Dame athletics, and a couple others, college athletes as well. That they're like, hey, like we've got to do something to kind of regulate this, because right now it's just a free for all. Like right now there's zero cap. Like there's no cap. There's nothing that the NCAA has put out and it's like, hey, you can only spend this much on a roster, right? You can only like transfer this many times. Dudes can transfer. You got 5 years in college, like with grad school, quote unquote, 5 years.
Yeah.
There's been more than that. You could transfer at any time, which is just like, I don't want free agency in my college football. I just don't want it. And so it's just kind of trying to regulate these things. Nick Saban was talking about it now. It's such a good argument. And then there's the other side of the table that always loves to be like, well, Nick Saban profited off of all this for years and blah, 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 blah. Okay, everybody understands that, like, college football as a whole before NIL, but so like, 2020, basically, I kind of think when...
Add another 6 years.
Yeah, well, no, I think this was actually
Yeah.
like 2020, 2021 where NIL was like kind of introduced. Probably 2021 or 2022, actually, because I know when Jeremy Pruitt got snagged for the McDonald's bags.
Yeah, play the clip from our
2020.
Harry Potter skit.
Was 2020. So Nick Saban was talking about, he's like, when NIL came around, first year of NIL, which was 2022, it had to be 2022 because he was in for 3 years with NIL. First year was NIL, we had $2 million. Second year, NIL, $7 million. Third year that I was there with NIL, $14 million. Then I retired. And then he said, then it went to 20. And it went to 25. He goes, now we have some kids or some programs building $40 million rosters in college. And that's a very small pool of schools that are able to do that. And so it's a big act right now. I'm really hoping that it gets passed.
So what is the act saying?
So
is it just condemning
well,
NIL?
It's not condemning NIL, but it's kind of like trying to put protections on basically like how revenue is shared. How
between a player and a school,
between players in schools, media in schools. I think putting a little bit more governance on who is representing kids, because right now apparently you have a lot of agents that aren't actually certified agents, that are basically people being like, hey, I can get you more money, and then in the long run just screwing kids over, giving a lot of bad advice. I mean, I can think of two guys from Tennessee right now, Nico Iamaleava, where his dad and some random other guy that's not a licensed agent
just gave him bad advice.
Gave him bad advice, and here he is at UCLA making less than he was at Tennessee, and making less because of not only making less, but also making even more less because of the state taxes in California. Right. Another one, Boo Carter, who was kind of already an at-risk kid, I think, just because, I hate to say it this way, but I think I'm just being really transparent, is kind of the background that he came from. It's like you have a lot of kids that are being pulled out of rough upbringings and not a lot of money, and especially in college athletics, there's just a demographic there, right? That you kind of know. It's just like you're coming out of the projects, you're coming out of low income, you're coming out of bad situations, and you're trying to make the most of it that you can. You got a kid like Boo Carter, who played at Tennessee, who now plays at Colorado, where he's getting bad advice. Then his mom is getting bad advice. Then his mom is a big voice in his Obviously, in his head, that's, saying all this stuff. Then he's wanting more money. Then he's got a certain sort of attitude towards the coaching staff. And then thank God, Coach Heupel has been one of the first coaches in the NIL era to have some balls to an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid to say, no, we're not giving you that. Just like he did with Nico. Mm-hmm. Nico demanded a certain amount of money. He said, all right, we can go play somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't lose that. Tennessee did not lose that battle money-wise. He just told him, no, we're not paying you that much. So I'm excited for this bill. There were so many things that Nick Saban said. He was $40 million rosters. Another thing is that it's gonna just tear down every other sport. You're gonna sit here and look at, basically football and basketball being your only two major college sports. Football turning into maybe a super league of 30 to 40 to 50 teams, because the rest of the 138 Division I college football teams not all of them can keep up. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see programs implode.
So
it's just a mess.
I want to know what the bill exactly says before I have a strict opinion on whether or not I want it to pass. But it does sound like it's a problem that needs to be fixed. My just sitting here armchair league management, whatever you want to call it, thinking about it for just 5 minutes, would be to add some cap, just a cap on say you just want to do it based off the SEC, and then the SEC equally just shares a pool of money. And then
so set a cap for a conference. So SEC has this much of
whatever. Maybe it could be NCAA, but then the more schools you involve, the more.
Well, they already kind of revenue shares. Revenue share.
So I would say make it exactly equal revenue share. Not Alabama gets more markets, so they get. I don't know if that's how it works, but say, just to make it easy, say there's $100 million in the SEC. How many SEC schools are there?
There's 16.
So you divide that up by 16 exactly.
Yeah.
And then you say that, and you do it maybe per sport as well.
Yeah.
And then you just say you have this much money to spend on your players.
Yeah.
And you all get it. There's no cap rollover.
Yeah.
It's just you just get this amount of money for this year, and you can spend it.
And that's where it is right now. Is a lot. There's the one thing that I kind of think is obviously making NIL tricky is because what it was is name, image, and likeness. We think about all the cases. We think about what we're probably going to talk about in our next topic here in just a second. The video game portion of it. The reason why NCAA football and all the other NCAA sports games went away for however long they went away, over 12 years, 13 years, was because a dispute over name, image, and likeness. A couple people back in 2012 said, hey, my face is in this game, my name, my likeness, and that's me in that number 3 jersey right now, and I'm not getting paid for this. The Johnny Manziel thing where he was saying hey, of course he was signing autographs and doing all kinds of other things, but hey, that's my number 2 jersey. It doesn't have my name on the back of it, but I wear number 2. I'm the only person that wears number 2.
Yeah.
That's my jersey being sold in the stores. Where's my cut of that?
Then
right?
And
that's a great argument.
You make it based off of how much every team is making, and you put that in the pool.
Yeah.
So that $100 million mark is based off of how much the entire conference is making. And then the other thing that you have to do in this situation is you have to go back to the archaic 10 years ago and saying that the students just cannot make money off of a dealership.
Yeah.
You just be like, hey, we have all this money coming in. This is how you're getting your money. You can't work for someone. I don't know.
So
it's going to be a legal issue.
That's where I disagree just a little bit. Is I think that name, image, and likeness. Let's say in Knoxville, Walker. I'm just going to make a name. Walker Chevrolet of Knoxville. I don't even know if that's a real place. But if they wanted to go to Deshaun Bishop, the running back, and say, hey, we want to do a couple commercial things, we'll give you X amount of money for this. or whatever. I totally think they should be able. If they're going to put him in a commercial,
You can't do it. It won't work because then it's just the rich people doing it again. So then you would have the Haslams, right? They'd be like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Chevrolet dealership. Here's $100 million. Feel free to spend it however you like." Wink, wink, wink. Oh, let's get all these 5-star recruits and have, you know what I mean?
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think, and the funny thing is, like, my wife Sarah has a very strong opinion. She's like, every time I bring up NIL, it's stupid. It's the stupidest thing ever. Like, these kids are being able to go to school for free. They're getting a scholarship to go. They get to have the experience. They get to literally get their school paid for. And this is where I agree with her a little bit as well. Just on this specific thing that I'm about to say is, they get such a greater opportunity after college is over. If they don't go to the pros for whatever sport, usually those athletes are fine in a career, because, I mean, everybody knows at this point in our lives, like, getting a job is who you know. And I've never, and I mean, even I wasn't a college athlete, but I have applied for, just in my like schooling background and everything else, I have applied for so many like roles in athletic departments all over the place. Mm-hmm. And the amount of times that those roles have been filled, because I'll go back and look at like who got the role because they're publicly posted. It's a former athlete of that school or whatever. Mm-hmm. That is such a good, college sports is such an amazing networking opportunity. I mean, locally at Austin Peay, I don't know how many times I have tried to get into the athletic in the athletic department at Austin Peay, and it's just constant Austin Peay athletes, going in droves. So they get an opportunity, and I think and yeah, while I agree that they are getting, I do think they should get compensated for if they appear in a video game, if their jersey sells, if whatever it might be. So looking at this Protect College Sports Act, the key provisions, NIL rights, codifies the federal right for student athletes to earn compensation for their NIL. It also, replacing a confusing mix of state laws, it also includes transparency requirements for deals over $600. So I guess anything over $600, I guess they would have to get approved maybe by the NCAA, because they're trying to put the NCAA back into it. Because right now the NCAA has zero standing. They're still technically the enforcer almost, it's almost like they are the dictator of college football. But what happened is, and what has happened in the past is, now every time they try to enforce something, it's just litigation. Legal action gets taken every time, and they never win it. Yeah. Because they can't. They can't. There's just not enough. There's not enough provision for a court system to say, no, we have to side with the NCAA. So next point, agent rules. It sets a strict cap on agent fees at 5% of an endorsed contract and requires agents to register with the state. So you have to be a state-registered agent. Scholarship stability. Prevents colleges from taking away an athlete's scholarship because of a bad sports performance or an injury. Also guarantees a scholarship for 10 years so athletes can finish their degrees, which apparently that's a big thing right now. Nick Saban has also said, it because it's adding to the transfer portal chaos of a coach being able to be like, I don't want you here. You're not good enough. You can tell a kid, tell a kid hey, you might want to go into the transfer portal. It'd probably be your best interest. Yeah. But you can't just now basically what is happening is kids are getting stripped of their scholarship. And he threw out a crazy stat which is, I didn't realize, but 30% of the transfer portal players don't get picked up anywhere. So you're getting told this. You're getting told by everywhere, it's going in transfer portal, you'll get such a great opportunity and all this stuff. You might be one of those 30% that go in and you're like, oh, shoot.
So when you go into the transfer portal, you, when you declare, I don't know exactly, but you kind of declare that you're going in the transfer portal. That means that you're officially leaving the university?
You can put it now, you can always come back. Mm-hmm. Tennessee has had a couple of guys that's put their name in the transfer portal, then they withdraw. So you can withdraw. But yeah, basically it's you fill out this sheet. It's like a piece of paper. You put in literally it's like a form. I don't know if it's digitally now. Yeah. But you fill out a form and you basically say transfer portal, blah, 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 blah. The university fills it out, they approve it, and then you get put in. And I guess it's this database that coaches and schools can go on. They can look to see who's in it. Because I know you can even put like a no contact clause, or like no contact on your transfer portal. Like, so if I'm an athlete and I know where I want to go, if I'm already have, which is a whole nother issue. If I already know where I'm going, that means tampering has been involved. So if I know where I'm going, I put a no contact clause on my transfer portal form or whatever, and I go right to wherever, because that's happened. Nick Saban even said in his 11-minute speech to Congress, there was a guy on the University of Clemson's roster that was actively playing football. I mean, it wasn't in football season yet, but he was on the practice field. Another school came and scooped him right off of campus, and he went and played somewhere else. So it definitely happens. Medical provisions mandates that Division I schools provide sports-related medical coverage and create a multi-million-dollar trust fund to help athletes with long-term conditions. Rules on transfer and coaches. Transfer limits guarantees athletes one penalty-free transfer during their college career. If they transfer a second time, they must sit out for a year, which I totally agree on. I think that it's only fair for athletes to be able to transfer if they're in a bad place. Now, let's say at a high school, I'm an 18-year-old kid. I get told by a coach that I'm important, I'm going to have a role, blah, blah, blah. I get there, I don't have anything that they promised me. I'm sitting on the bench, I haven't seen action, he hasn't even looked my way, right? And I know that I could go somewhere else. I could even go to a smaller school and get a better opportunity. That's fine. But these guys that are literally playing for a new school every single year, but because basically they're treating the NIL era as a free agency, that, let's see. Hell, they were talking about it yesterday on Ramon and Will in the morning. It's like, everybody's a one-year contract at this point. Like Faison Brandon or McIntyre for Tennessee, the two quarterbacks that are dueling each other right now. One of them can get the starting position this year. Tennessee could go 8-4, and they could be like, I don't really want to be on an 8-4 team. Let me just peace out, go somewhere this next year, and then they get to somewhere else, and they have a hell of a year, and then they're like, Ohio State can now give me $4 million more dollars. I'm gonna just go there now. There's nothing stopping that right now. They can do that if they want. The quote unquote Lane Kiffin rule. That's crazy. Prohibits schools from poaching head coaches or coordinators from other universities during the active college football season or playoffs. And the last 3 bullet points: broadcasting requires schools to broadcast all college football and basketball games for free of charge within their local television markets. Non-revenue sports require large athletic programs that participate in collective media rights and deals to maintain roster spots and scholarships for women and Olympic sports. Which that's one of that's actually that bullet point is like one of their main bullet points. It's like we have to preserve these non-revenue sports. We got to preserve the soccers, the tennises, the whatever, the golf teams, whatever, which I agree with. Yeah. And then conference control limits conferences that make over $1 billion from acquiring or merging with other conferences, which aims to slow down major conference realignment, which basically is protecting college athletics from basically creating super conferences, almost like the Big Ten and the SEC has been teasing. Because if you put in a super conference, every other team that's not in a super conference is just going to die.
Right.
So that's just kind of the rundown of what the Protect College Sports Act is. I don't know what their timeline is on this. If you haven't looked at the 11-minute, it's 11 minutes that Nick said. I'm sure he talks more like later on when they're asking questions, but his opening statement is 11 minutes long. It's a good listen.
Let's move on to this past week. Video games were talked about.
So excited. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. College football 27.
It's funny because they kind of did like a dual,
dude, I
guess kind of announcement with college football, Madden.
I was so against it at first. But did you watch it?
Not really. I saw some clips, but I didn't watch
it. So good. It was so, and I don't know how much that you've paid attention to in the last couple of years with their releases. So what they've done in the past couple of years is like they've so for 25 and 26, at least on the college football side, what they've done is like they'll say like, hey, we're gonna release a deep dive. So basically, it'll be like in a form of like a blog post on the EA's website, big long article about all their stuff, right? That was usually accompanied by a 3 to 4 minute little short video of just them kind of blowing through all of the major updates. They would do that for like a week or two because they would release like, oh, we're going to do presentation changes, presentation in crowd noise or announcers. This next day is going to be Dynasty. This is going to be Road to Glory. And it was just like, oh, quit teasing us.
Just get it. Just tell me what you want.
Dude, the opening drive, they called it opening drive. The opening drive was amazing. I mean, they went into it was an hour long just of college football. Like, the college football people came on and they were like, hey, this is all the stuff, this is our vision of like everything that we wanted to do. And like, it forced the developers to stand up there and be like, this is what I did. Like, and it almost is like, dang, that's accountability for like the first time through EA that I've seen.
Yeah. I always found that the more that a developer shows off about their game or just lets people like play it and then like share footage before the game comes out, the more they do that, the more confident they are in the game and the more likely that the game is going to be what it's advertised to be, which doesn't happen a lot.
Which I feel like is what's happening to an extent,
right?
For college football, at least. I don't know. I can't really speak on the Madden stuff just because I don't pay attention to it. Like, it might be a get, but like my general interest is running a dynasty, like in a dynasty mode in college football, because there's just so much to it. So I can't speak of the Madden side.
It's not the Ultimate Teams?
No. Dude, college football legitimately did not talk about a thing with Ultimate Team.
That's good.
They were just like, yeah, it's there.
That's good. They did that. Well, it's not really relevant to us anymore. Well, one, it's coming to PC. College football is.
Yes.
Which is more likely for me to get it.
Yes.
And then they announced like this pass thing, but it's only for console, right? Where you pay like $150 and you get both games and you get like the super deluxe version.
Which
of both
I was kind of thrown off by that at first. Like when they first announced that about a week or two ago, I was like, oh no, this isn't good. Like, because there was so much momentum from a big college football video game fan. Like, there was so much momentum from the community on X over the past year, because I think that's where people need to realize, like, if you start a big enough movement on social media, like, they're going to listen. And I think, honestly, now, I will give EA the benefit of the doubt. When they came back out with 25, when they released College Football 25 2 years ago, they said up front, they were like, hey, we are obviously getting back into this. We've been working on 25 for a little over a year. This is kind of the foundation for everything we want to set forward. But they said right off the rip, in 2025, they said, we want this to be a culmination of about a 3-year project, to where we really feel like in 3 years, the game will be where we really want it to be.
Yeah. And
then we can start doing some crazy stuff. This was year 3. Mm-hmm. And year 3 right now seems like from now they did say, like, so right now there's a beta that I think ends tonight. It was from Thursday night to tonight. You had to have MVP Plus to get it, which I was bummed because I honestly, I know we were texting. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I would have dropped the 150 to be able to play just solely, honestly, just to be able to play the beta this whole weekend.
Good grief.
It's in the fact that, like, I already will pay. Like, I'm just gonna say, like, I'm gonna pay for the $99 like digital deluxe version to get the game like a couple days earlier. Not that I play Ultimate Team, but I'm gonna play the dang game 3 or 4 days earlier, brother. Like what's $30? That's $10 a day.
What's $30?
That's $10 a day. What's $30?
Just don't eat those days. It'll all even out.
It's fine.
That's
Let me have what I want, Hayden.
You know, listen, I have indulged myself in some things, so it's fine.
Exactly.
I don't judge.
What were we
too
even saying? Oh man.
Well, we were kind of talking about how if you got that subscription and you were going to get both games anyways, and
worth
even
it.
if you're an Ultimate Team thing, that's
It's
totally
definitely
worth it
worth
because
it.
you get like all the packs or what. I don't know how that works.
But if you're gonna get both games, it's worth it because it's what both games are like
they're $70
something
and the whole thing's
dollars.
$150. So technically,
Yeah.
you're spending a $10 premium, but you get the like crazy editions of
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
So
You get everything
it
you
would be
want.
worth it if you knew for sure you were getting both.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I bought Madden. I bought Madden. I have Madden 26 on PS5. But literally it was $10. Like I like logged on to PS5 one day and I like saw that it was on sale and I was like, $10? Like I'll spend $10 to see if this is good. Did I play it much? No. Not that it was bad, but again, it's just where my interest of like pro versus college. Like if I'm gonna sit down and play a football video game, I'm just gonna sit down and play college football.
I think my plan for it all is if you can have EA Play and you get a free weekend or whatever it is with a trial.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do that, see how I like it, and then maybe.
Brother, I've got Steam now. I'm about to purchase that for somebody else. I noticed that was a feature in the cart.
Oh yeah,
It said for you or for somebody else, and you can click their little account. College Football 27 is going to show up in your account one day, and it's going to be on.
All right,
it's going to be
that's
mean.
fine. You can add people to your family on Steam, and you can play their games.
Yeah, but can you play it at the same time?
No.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to play together.
Yeah.
But I do that with Connor, and so we have each other's libraries.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm so excited. So there's obviously what I was talking about with like the Twitter community. So the Twitter community, it was something that you really wouldn't care about too much. If you pull up on X right now, there's a guy. I bet if you look on Twitter, X, whatever I still call it Twitter, literally type in pack like in the search bar once you get on X. He'll pull up.
What if we get something weird? You're gonna see.
Oh, geez,
You're
I
gonna
hope.
see all Mormons. Look, Mormons. You guys can't see it. I haven't pulled it up right now. Oh wait, no, that's right. You're seeing that screen. Hold on. Let me move this thing around. Okay, I haven't switched yet. Okay, so pack PAC.
Yeah, PAC.
Person color.
Oh man, you haven't searched him before. Oh man, I don't know how to find him. Pac-Man, like Pac-Man. Darn, I don't know how to find him.
Where's
Hold
your
on,
phone?
where's my phone at? Yeah. Let me just find his handle.
Get on X.
The community on X, you really wouldn't. It's not something that I showed you a couple weeks ago. We had a brief conversation about this, but it's the kind of the visuals community, like the equipment / so Catholic Pac-Man.
And now we're talking about Catholics.
Why has this been such a heavy coded Catholic Pac-Man?
Oh man.
This is
Good Lord. Is that? Oh, I put
Pam, yeah, first guy.
Okay,
All
there we go.
right. So this is one of the spearheaders of the equipment
Whoa.
guy. One of the equipment people on that doesn't work for EA, but he has just been. They started this equipment disciples the whole thing, right? So their big thing was getting basically harassing the hell out of the dev that is part of the equipment dev for EA Sports, getting stuff to go from trash to actually looking how they look on field.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to stop here, or go up to that first image of Arch Manning. So Arch Manning, when he well, this is actually from the trailer, but a couple years ago they had a big just people were on there man, these players don't look anything like they do in real life. The pads are all off, the helmets look terrible, the equipment that they wear on field isn't even in the game or whatever. Like this image right here for the TCU guy. See the purple jersey on the left here? That was like a recruit in the game, and they were like, "This guy looks like a caveman," Like they were like, "And what is this? Like, who wears their jersey like that? Like, who? All this stuff." So basically, they got just a big community on Twitter to like go from the game looking like that to, if you scroll up a little bit, there's a picture from in game actually from the 27 release the other night. Keep going. Oh, actually, we don't know. Where's that Kentucky guy? Yes. So like you'll see like pads are a lot smaller. One of the big things is like visors, like clear visors actually reflect, and like they just didn't reflect in College Football 26. You couldn't even tell they had visors on. And so like branded towels were a big thing. Just like things to make the game look visually better, like when you're just in it, because the gameplay genuinely was pretty decent. This was a big one. I don't get it because I'm not with like all the, this is a younger generation thing, but the hanging mouthpieces were such a massive topic, and the devs put them in. The devs fixed the helmet, like how it actually like tilts forward now, and like the fit of it, the pad fit, one leg sleeve, like all kinds of stuff. They got Ohio State and Michigan beefing in the tunnel before the game, which is actually kind of cool because they always actually get into a fight in that game. So basically, there was just a big push, and all off season, these guys were just like bullying the mess out of one of the equipment guys that worked for EA and was like, "Hey, y'all got to fix your game." And they literally like the guy was super awesome, and he was like replying to everybody, and they were like, "Hey, we're really pushing for a lot of stuff." And then so they pretty much did almost everything the equipment people wanted. I did see something where like on the defensive side of the ball, like you can make so many adjustments to now where like the defense will actually play like pretty well. They can be really over aggressive, and then they added NIL to Dynasty, which I'm like, oh God bless. So I'm excited. There's going to be a lot of cool things. I think you'll like it because I think like again the defense, a lot of the gripes that like we've had before, like playing the game, we're like, guy's just standing there. He's not even doing anything. Like they fixed, like they added this thing
when
where
you switch to your guys and he stops moving.
Yeah. They added this thing called looking for work. That basically, like, if a defender's standing in an area and there's nobody around him, he's gonna actively go look for somebody to like cover. Which in the trailer and like everything they released, I think I actually like reposted something on X. And those little like zig routes where like they'll come, like a receiver will be in the slot and they'll kind of like run 2 yards and then kind of go out, but then straight back in. And the defenses never covered it.
Yeah.
They actually like have a lot of videos now of the defenses, like, and just the way they move too. They're not skating from one position to the other just to cover a wide receiver. Like, and it's not animation based either. It literally looks so organic where there's wide receiver in a corner. They kind of get off the line each other. They're fighting like with their hands, like trying to go inside of each other, outside of each other, and like get position. And it's just like I think a lot of those things that's just super frustrating will be fixed. And I personally love the ability to have catching be in your control.
Yeah.
To an extent. Like, I mean, obviously, like if you get nailed, even if you quote unquote green a catch and you get just laid out, your receiver is going to drop. That's just kind of the case. But like, I think the days of you can't necessarily like be like, oh, well, you didn't catch that ball because the game sucked. It's like, well, you can just kind of like change the setting for it to you to be the one that sucks.
Yeah.
So let me show you this. Yeah, this video right here, where just the corner and the wide receiver just are interacting with each other so well. Just so well to where the cornerback is sticking with the receiver like I've never seen it before in a video game. I'm just incredibly excited. I cannot wait till July 6th because that's when I'm going to pay my $30 extra to play 3 or 4 days early.
That's a month away.
I know.
Gotta wait a whole month.
Oh, I'm so excited, dude.
In that month, I will be working.
I know.
So I know no one really watches these live stream. No one's here. I mean, we have a million people
we have
in chat.
a bunch.
Whoa! I can't even read chat. It's going so fast.
So fast.
But if you're wanting to catch us do the show, it's not going to be on Thursdays for a while because I will be working from 7 a.m. to likely 8 p.m. every day, Monday to Saturday for the next month.
I didn't realize we've been going for an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah, we've been going. So just a little bit change on the schedule. Might miss some just because I want, Sundays is my only day, so if I got something I got to go do.
That's fine.
But it's the dead season anyways. We'll do it when we can. And then once the season comes back, right around, like a little bit before preseason and all that training starts.
I gotta get logged into X on my phone. That way I can start retweeting all the college football 27 stuff. Keep our viewers up to date.
Yes, get into that Mormon conversation that everyone's having right now.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's too controversial for this.
Let's get into it. Another hour and a half.
It's
everybody brace yourself.
The question is, and I won't say where I line on it, are Mormons Christian?
Okay.
That's the show. I think that's the
All right.
show. Thank you guys for tuning in. We didn't play a game because we went for an hour and a half. We're at an hour and 30 minutes. And
I'm still gotta hang out with my friend. It's so funny. We didn't say a word to each other when I came in here.
Yeah, you started talking about something. I'm like, shit.
Yeah. I walked in and you were like, take a seat, and I was like, all right,
take a seat. Hold on, let's get this lighting.
Yeah.
Move this with this. Plug this in.
It was so
all right,
funny.
we're
It was
starting.
kind of awkward.
Here we go.
It was all right. It was funny.
But that's the show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back. Probably next week. I'll probably be for next week. But you never know. I could just be like.
We'll update you on X.
Yeah.
Follow us on X at Third String Opinions.
On X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I got to put all these links in our actual description. I made them the other week. We actually had a short, and it got some traction.
I know. I saw that.
So that's it. Peace out.
See ya.
Oh, hold on.